Hey guys, welcome back to the St Pölten series. Where I'd left off, we'd managed to hold on to a very solid, lonely 7th position in the league with half the season gone. So, let's see if we've managed to hold on to 7th, and more importantly, stayed clear of the relegation zone. Well, we've slipped a position. It's just as lonely as ever, 4 points behind Austria Vienna, 6 points ahead of Wacker Modeling, but crucially, with only a quarter of the season to go, we are 10 points clear of the drop, with a game in hand over Wiener Neustadt, most notably. So I'm optimistic about us staying up, but to be honest, we haven't been on the best run in the world, as I'm about to show you. We started out perfectly okay, a 0-0 against SV Ried, who were still high-flying, still performing well, and it was good to be able to shut them out. In our last match before the winter break, we hosted RB Salzburg. Held them to 0-0 for quite some time, but they had so much quality that we just couldn't hold on any longer. And in the end, we went into the winter break with 3 defeats and 1 draw from the last 4, which didn't really give us the best platform on which to build over the winter. I think this is where the slide in form really did start to get to the players' heads. We went to Wolfsberger, who we've never done that well against, and we were taken out completely. Just completely annihilated. Liendl with an absolute screamer from a poor clearance from Holzmann, which is how we seem to be conceding a lot of our goals. We concede a penalty just after the break, which was probably the worst possible way to start the second half. But we didn't really deserve to get anything out of this game, to be honest. And they duly scored a third with about 20 minutes left to go. Well worked goal. Just toying with it in front of our back line, nobody picking out the runner, and the keeper should do better from there. Here is what could end up being a very costly defeat against our rivals, Admira Wacker Modeling. Good finish there for the first goal, but again, the keeper has made an absolute howler. These were only 6 points behind us, I believe, when we kicked off. They won to close the gap to just 3, and at this point, I'm worrying that we might not be able to even survive relegation, let alone get a respectable finish. Again, you'd have thought the keeper could have put that shot out. Suffice to say, really, my players were down and desperate at this point, and if we'd have gotten another defeat against Sturm Graz, the league holders, then we really would have been in trouble. However, we managed to get an amazing win to break our bad run of form and to give us a fighting chance at avoiding the drop. We conceded early through Zudzi, just outclassed us in the middle of the park on that occasion. But in the first half we managed to equalise, Hofbauer causing some real havoc, and Bitchel diving in the snow, celebrating his first goal of the season after a notable drought of goals and really of performances. Hadn't really selected him that much this season for that reason, but he came up trumps there. And in the second half, we did manage to get a crucial win through some great play in their box and a fantastic finish from Kirschbaumer. We then hosted a Vienna club, Rapid Vienna, and we conceded a soft goal from a corner pretty early on in the match, in the first half. And at this point, I'm thinking maybe our lucky win, the morale it gave us, is going to come completely unstuck. And my fears were perhaps confirmed when they took a 2-0 lead with another keeping error, you'd have to say, from Riegler. The only reason he's still in the side really is because he does pull off some amazing saves. I'm just going to have to see what I can do to curtail those errors. We did get a consolation goal, good work from Hofbauer on the wing, and a good finish from Ibrahimovic, who, along with the team, has obviously struggled recently, but he's still coming up trumps with some good goals for us. We then went to Wiener Neustadt, who, despite being the bottom team in the league, we have been extremely poor against this season. We managed to take the lead through Yannick Shibany after some good little play at the back. Nice and patient. Cepelini, my signing, who I intended to be sort of a catalyst sort of player to win us some games, laying it off to Shibany, and he buries it. But with 5 minutes to go, I tried to switch to contain, waste time, take a breather or so. But even then, you can't account for that sort of key goalkeeping howler from Riegler, which just seems so characteristic of him. It really does baffle me. We then hosted Wacker Innsbruck, who were leading the league at that point. Poor goal to concede from a corner. Every time I conceded early in this run of fixtures, I thought we were going to sink into our desperately low morale and really slide towards the bottom of the table. But we did manage to equalise through Dominik Hofbauer in the first half. We did, however, get a penalty right on half-time that Peter Brandl took, and it was saved. So we had the chance there to extend our lead ahead of the 10th place team to 12 points, and we didn't take it, which was massively frustrating. But a point against the team who are leading the league is never a bad result. Our final game of this round of fixtures, we hosted SV Ried, who had slid down the table and were now not looking very threatening in terms of lifting the league title. They did, however, manage to take a well-worked lead. Ex-Slager crafting a beautiful move. And again, I'm thinking we're going to get another bad result here and the lads are going to start crying. However, we managed to take a 1-1 draw going into the break. Good work on the wing from Ambichel, who's really started to improve in recent games, even in our desperate run of form. And this is amazing. This was a stoppage time winner from Michael Ambichel after a fantastic ball in. And that's going to give us some great momentum going into the last quarter of the season. And hopefully now we should be able to avoid the drop. The gaps remain the same pretty much to 10th place, and there are less games. So I'm very hopeful. Not going to count my chickens before they've hatched just yet, but I'm hopeful. I'm just going to show you a transfer that I've made during the January window. I actually signed him at the end of the summer window, but he couldn't join until January. And he goes by the name of Pablo Cepelini. He was on pretty much double the wages of any other player in the side, which at face value and probably in reality was quite a stupid decision. I have, however, signed him to be a catalyst, someone in attack who can create chances, which I think we are still lacking at the moment. I intend to use him as sort of a trequartista. Maybe be better off as an attacking mid actually, but I'll have to jig around with my tactics to accommodate him. He's got good core stats for the role that he partakes in the team. Got some 13s, 14s, some 15s. So definitely a solid player. He was released actually by Cagliari, who are a Serie A team. So he's come through the ranks there. So hopefully he should do a good job in this league. The assistant also says he's got the potential to be a star attacking midfielder. So despite the hefty fee in terms of wages, I think he can prove himself to be a worthwhile signing. And even if he doesn't make the grade, his value is such that I'm bound to make a hefty profit off it anyway. Just want to show you a regen I've been looking at. Rainier Horak. I scoured Austria once regen day came. Not that much on offer, considering no regens from any Bundesliga sides would want to join my club, which is a shame. But I did find this guy from TSV Hartberg, who you may remember from the first division. I think he's got some potential. Obviously, determination is key in whether he'll get to that potential, and it's at 16, it's very good. He'll play primarily as a box-to-box midfielder in central mid. Obviously, a lot of improvements still to make, but the scout report was very positive. An ode to the future there anyway. So, it's been a character building spell this time round, but the positive is we're still 10 points clear of the drop, and I'm ever optimistic that we can survive this season and push on for next. I'll see you later anyway, guys. Take care.